All right, how's it coming, class? Today we're going to continue exploring the random forest model, and we're going to discuss how to kind of more clearly interpret the results of the model to get a sense of, which variables within the model are more or less important. So let's just jump right into it. So you'll recall that, when we were doing the regressions, when we were running regressions, um, we ran the regression and we could get this table of essentially marginal effects, right? And in this table, we could see, for example, like if I wanted to ask, well, what is the effect of increasing the age of a passenger by 1 on their likelihood of survival? I could get that answer by simply reading the coefficient from my regression output, right? So, for example, this would say that for every year year a person is older, their probability of surviving the Titanic, drops by this value right here, drops by basically 0.6%. And so it would be nice if we could get something like this from our random forest model, right? Now you'll recall the way we get this table is we simply do the summary command. We type the summary command on our model, and then it gives us this table. When we saw last time that when we type the summary command on the random forest, it doesn't give us a table like this at all. Instead, it just spits out this big list of like parameters that tells us how it grew the model. Okay, so the question is, it's this question of explanation, right? The problem is that the random forest like algorithm, it doesn't really produce an easily interpreted coefficient for each independent variable in the model, right? I mean, it's just simply not that kind of thing. It's different from a regression, right? What it produces are all of these trees, all of these decision trees that make up the forest. Each decision tree is somewhat different. And so, okay, how do I take this forest of 500 different looking decision trees and reach some conclusion that, okay, well, this variable is most important, or this variable is most important, or if I were to increase some variable by 1, what would the effect be, right? And so this problem of explanation, okay, so now I trained my model, but I want to actually be able to understand what's important and what isn't. This problem of explanation is a serious one for any kind of machine learning model because the underlying model is so much more complex than a regression. And we'll see that both with this model and later on with artificial neural networks, that getting some sort of sensible explanation out of the model can be a challenge. Okay, so that having been said, this class we're going to discuss 3 different ways to quantify the relative importance of different variables within our random forest. And they are these 3: importance by omission, the minimal depth, and partial effects. Okay. So, so I think that that sort of sets the stage pretty well. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post an addendum onto Piazza that contains the extra code needed for today. So I would just want you to take that code, copy it into your original week 11 assignment file. Okay, just kind of copy paste it there at the end. Then you'll have all the code that we're going to need, and the homework will be part of that as well. Okay, so go ahead, go to Piazza, copy that code over, and then we'll go from there.